Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10 and support the channel at the same time. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to a special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, where we're going to look at all things Ixalan. The set has now been out in this new standard environment for 4 full weeks, and there are still some significant changes to pricing. Even though a lot of packs are being opened at this point, the metagame is evolving a little bit, and we're seeing a shift from some decks into some other decks being the more popular ones. Now, quickly before we get started, if you check out the description below, you will find a few ways to help support the channel and what we do here. One of which is our Patreon page, and there's details there as to how to get your hands on one of these classic art tokens. We just created this new treasure token, and we're still giving out the angel token for silver and gold patrons as well. So more details there. You'll also find some links to Amazon products. If you make any purchases through any of those links, once you're on Amazon, we'll get a small percentage of whatever it is you buy. And then finally, you'll find Flipside Gaming has provided the promo code still for our viewers, which is really awesome of them, and they have a lot to offer, including Iconic Masters pre-order still. So with that being said, let's get into the information for today. And we're going to start off with our 2 Planeswalker deck Planeswalkers. I like to check in on these just so we know if it's still a good deal to buy the singles, or maybe I should just go ahead and buy the full deck. Well, Jace is still down a little bit this week, down 20 cents to 670. And a Watley is actually up, but just 2 cents, up to 786. All right, let's move into the Ixalan cards that have lost value this week. Coming in at number 10, Direfleet Ravager, down 22 cents to 249. So this has been on our list for a few weeks now. Maybe no real surprise here, unfortunately. The card just never really found a home. And I just think with the 5 casting cost and the relatively high variance effect, I don't really see this crossing over well into constructed Magic. Number 9, Vona, Butcher of Magan, down 22 cents to 524. Now, this card saw a little bit of play in week 1, week 2, like in the Esper gift decks, but unfortunately, the card has started to fall off a little bit. Those decks, a lot of them are not running or running less copies of this now, so because of that, it ticks down this week. Number 8, Gishath Sun's Avatar, down 28 cents to 760. This was hot coming out of the gate, like the first couple weeks that the set came out, but it's all about Commander, and Commander players just need 1 copy, and any Commander player that was interested in assembling the dinosaur build needed to get this, basically. So it was really hot early on. Now those players have their copies, and it's ticking down. Number 7, Regisaur Alpha, down 40 cents to 591. Well, unfortunately, that dinosaur deck didn't quite get there, and this was a key part of that deck coming out of the first week, but when people started to see the struggles the deck was having, it really fell off the map pretty quickly. Another thing going against this card is it's going to be included in the Explorers of Ixalan gift box, which is coming out later in the year too. Coming in at number 6, Watley Warrior Poet, up 49 cents to 883. Kind of sad to me that this card never found the foothold. I think it's a really cool card. I'm hoping that maybe when the next set comes out, it will get a chance to see some play. Time will tell. But the problem with the card was when it came out, it felt like it wanted to be in a dinosaur deck. Brewers figured out relatively quickly that the Boros or Naya colors weren't really the best option, that it was the Gruul colors, and then if you're going Gruul colors, Samud's probably a better option, and then in the end of the day, that deck never really did anything anyway. So it never really worked out for this card, so I don't know, it'd be nice to see her get another chance after Rivals. Coming in number 5, Growing Rights of Itlimoc, down 59 cents to 855. Now, this card was super overhyped coming out of the pre-release period because of its similarities to Gaia's Cradle, of course, which is a fantastic card, but it's only good if you have something to ramp into, right? And this one also requires some setup that could be a little high variance at times. Now, put all that together and you have yourself an 855 rare that is actually still probably a little overpriced 4 weeks after the set has come out. With that being said, though, the card is seeing a little bit of play in some elf decks in Modern, and there's a chance it could find a foothold there. Just depends on how those decks perform, and if those players decide, you know what, the deck was better without this strategy, let me just go back to the old one or not. But if it does find a foothold there, yes, this card will have a place for all time, basically. With that being said, maybe it does have a chance for Standard in the future when some other sets come out and we get some different metas going. But at least for right now, it does have a home. Now, 855 still overpriced, unfortunately. This card will continue to tick down over the next few weeks, especially as more packs get opened. Number 4, Ripjaw Raptor, down 62 cents to 870. So this card was seeing a little bit of play early on in various decks, like Constrictor decks and such. Some of those decks starting to fall just out of the meta, and also some of the decks that are running this are just doing some other things, like Carnage Tyrant, for example. So this is seeing less play. And again, it's a rare, a lot of packs being opened, stands to reason this will continue to decline. But this is a card that has a lot of potential. It's just a solid green creature regardless. So watch for this to maybe make some comebacks during different metas as other sets are added to standard. Number 3, Carnage Tyrant, down 70 cents this week to $19.99. Another card that was really overpriced during the pre-release time. At one point, this was close to $30, which is insane. But yeah, $20, it's still coming down. It will still come down. Now, unlike Ripjaw Raptor, it is seeing more significant play right now because of the Teamer energy deck more than anything. But with that being said, those decks are usually running one in the main, one in the side. So you're thinking like 2 ofs and not 4 ofs, anything like that. And that makes sense considering it's a 6-drop. So again, this will continue to decline a little bit more, although it is at least seeing some consistent standard play. Number 2, Jace Cunning Castaway, down $1.09 to $10.57. And we talked about Jace a little bit last week. Just again, another card that doesn't have a foothold, doesn't have a home right now. Another one to watch maybe in future metas. And number 1, Hostage Taker, down $1.09 to $14.70. Okay, this card blew up a few weeks ago, and it's a rare, mind you. This is not a mythic. This is a rare. It cannot possibly keep this kind of price point. And yes, it is still seeing play, showing up in those gift decks, showing up in the Sultai energy decks. It's still a fantastic card. It's got a great future ahead of it in standard, but it has to come down. A fair price for this, I would say, is maybe $8 to $10, and it will decline over the next few weeks. Now, all these cards that are declining, they may stabilize, may even bump up after the Pro Tour in a couple weeks because of just more attention on them, but that will all be temporary. As more packs get open, a lot of these rares especially are going to come down in value. All right, let's move on to the cards that have gained value this week. We actually have some interesting ones to look at. Number 10, Kitesail Freebooter, up 10 cents to 46 cents. Okay, this one's an uncommon, but I will say this about the card. It has been kicking around ever since Ixalan entered the format, and it's great in gift decks, for example. Now, it's an uncommon, so adjust your expectations here. The only reason we're seeing it on the list is because, for the most part, the increases are very conservative, as you can imagine, as more packs get open. This could have been almost any card at the 10-cent mark, but it does go to show you that there's a lot of attention on this particular uncommon. That's pretty cool. Number 9, Glacial Fortress, up 10 cents as well to $3.59. This is one of the check lands. You're going to see 3 on the list today. Everybody's scrambling to get play sets of these, right? So that's why they're hot right now. This one has seen play in some control builds already in standard. Number 8, Rampaging Ferocidon, up 13 cents to $3.39. Now, this card is a fantastic sideboard card in Ramonap Red. Because of that, this is ticking up a little bit this week. I expect this card to probably sit in the $2 to $4 range just on that merit alone. Number 7, Vraska's Contempt, up 24 cents to $10.40. This card is exceptional removal right now in Standard, not because it's an instant exile creature removal spell, I mean that's real good, but it deals with a lot of threats you need to deal with in this environment, namely Chandra and Vraska. So this card is going to continue to tick up at least a little bit, but do keep in mind that this is a rare and it's starting to get kind of high at the $10, $11 mark. Expect this to stabilize at some point, maybe after the Pro Tour, and start to decline a little bit. Number 6, Sunbird's Invocation, up 33 cents to 84 cents. You might be saying to yourself, Sunbird's Invocation, where's this coming from? I saw all the results from all the big tournaments. I didn't see this show up anywhere. Well, there is a website you may have heard of, MTG Goldfish, run by Saffron Olive, and they do an article that he puts together called Against the Odds, where he does a standard brew at times that is just meant to be kind of off the wall, and he did one this week with 4 of these. So yeah, that will definitely impact the market. Now, if you haven't read that series or pay attention to that series, I would keep track of it because it is pretty cool for a couple of reasons. One, you can actually follow some trends in the market due to those articles because so many times the cards, the decks that he focuses on do go up in value, at least temporarily. But also, secondly, there are some fun builds, and there's some really cool creative builds that he puts out there. So they're not necessarily decks that are going to show up at your next Star City game open or anything like that in the top 8, but they are things you might see at Friday Night Magic because his site and his brews are actually that popular. Number 5, Drowned Catacomb, up 45 cents to $7.51. Okay, another check land. This one, of course, is great in these Esper as well as some of the control builds we've been seeing. Number 4, Rootbound Crag, another one of 50 cents to 3.91. This is great in Teamer Energy. Number 3, Treasure Map up 69 cents to 3.09. Okay, we're getting into token territory now. The new hotness over the last couple weeks have been the token decks. Mostly the Abzan. We've seen some Esper token decks do well, though, too. So that's something to keep in mind. This is a piece of both of those builds. Number 2, Vraska Relic Seeker, up 85 cents to 15.53. And another card that does show up in Abzan tokens, fantastic there, also shows up in Sultai Energy. But yes, she is ticking up this week. She is going to continue to tick up through the Pro Tour, I have no doubt, before she stabilizes. Number 1, Legion's Landing, up $1.02 this week to 5.24. Actually, that's a pretty nice increase considering this is a rare, and a lot of these token decks are popular, like I said. So, yes, this is showing up in Esper as well as the Abzan tokens. Because of that, you're seeing a nice increase this week. With that being said, those are the cards for today. I did mention the Pro Tour. It's not this coming weekend, it's the weekend after, so I do expect some turbulence in standard cards, including Ixalan, over the next few weeks. We'll keep a close eye on it, continue to report it out to all of you. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.